Hey guys, so today I have to go into the office for just a little bit. I know I don't work 9 to 5 anymore, but I'm still employed. I'm still employed by the same company that I don't work 9 to 5 for anymore. And in order to continue my employment, I have to go and do some things for them. So I don't work for them very often. It's just an as needed thing. So, you know, today I'm needed and I'm gonna go in. But anyway, if you are not following me on my business page on Facebook, what are you doing with your life? But also do it. And just kidding, but you really should. Last night we did a Facebook Live, and I say we because it was me and my best friend Summer. If you don't know her, you would. If you went to my Facebook business page, you would know who she is. And she did a Facebook Live with me, and we had such a good time. And I had a few comments of people asking like how she did her makeup. Well, I did her makeup and they knew that I did her makeup, and they wanted to know how I did it. And so I thought I would do a video on that because it's so incredibly simple and easy, and it's probably not necessarily a work look, but it's gonna be today. So I wore the dress she was wearing last night because this is from my boutique. I will link it down below. She had on some black earrings last night. They were not from my boutique, but they were very similar to this, and these are from my boutique. These are the woven black earrings, the faux leather earrings, and they're so cute. You need them. You need some faux leather earrings, whatever the style you want, but you need some faux leather earrings. And so I thought that I would kind of recreate that and let you guys see what I did for her makeup. Now, she is absolutely gorgeous, and I probably won't look exactly like her, but I will show you what I did to her makeup last night, and then you guys can recreate. So first and foremost, I start with the eyes, and I forgot my eye primer today. Good job, Whitney. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my concealer. I'm going to use, this is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm going to take just a little bit here on my eyes, and I'm just going to pat it all over the lid with my sponge. Then I'm taking just a little bit of setting powder over top of that just to set that concealer into place so that we don't have creasing. So the eyeshadow palette I used was my Huda Beauty Naughty Nude, and I love this palette. I think I showed you guys this in my like 10 palettes. If I can only keep 10 palettes, this would be one of them. I love this palette, it's so good. And so I used a few shades. I'll hold it up right so you know exactly which shades. I used the Please Me shade, and I used a little bit of this Tantric shade, and then I used a little bit of the Naughty shade. So don't prefer these names, but you know, it is what it is. All I did, honestly, all I did, I took my finger into Please Me, which is that top shade I pointed at, this one here. So I took my finger in there, and then I just patted that on the inner portion of her eye. And think about eyeshadow and how you want your eyeshadow to look, and you want it to kind of be rounded. So even when you're using a finger, you want it to still kind of look rounded. So kind of, you know, position your finger, if you're using a finger, as you want your eyeshadow positioned. So I just took that on about like 2/3 of the eye. So see how I have that on the inner 2/3, and then I just took a brush. So this is the LBE 5 brush from Lunar Beauty, so you can kind of see it's natural haired, and it's kind of like tapered around the top there. And then I just went into this Naughty shade here, and I just dipped in, coated my brush, and then I just started patting in this outer corner. Pat the color down, and keeping in mind the shape that you want. I know it looks kind of messy, but it's okay. So I just took a relatively clean brush. This is clean, it just is a little stained. And I have fallout, so that's why I suggest to do your eyes first. And then I just kind of blended these edges. No, I didn't use an extra shade. I just used what was on there and lightly blend. Once you blend, you will blend some of your color away, so you'll have to go back in and just kind of put a little bit more down. Just pat And then back with the clean brush, I'm just working on these edges more than anything. And then I'm going back with the Please Me shade, which is that inner corner shade. And just to put a little bit more oomph in there. I got that done and I was like, I still need a little something more. So I went into this Tantric shade, which is the gold shade here. Put a little bit on my finger. And then I just pressed that over top of the Please Me. Nothing too precise, just a little something extra, you know. And see how that's just a little bit more amped up than this side. Then I just took a makeup wipe. To clean up the edges, and if you ever have trouble with that, just kind of follow the shape, like the line of your eye, the bottom line, lash line there. When I got down here, I realized I forgot my liquid liner tube, so I'm just going to use this one. And this is the Revlon So Fierce Vinyl Liner. So I'm going to use this for like how I would use liquid liner. So I used a black liner. So I'm just going to take this across my lashes, or lash line, and then for a wing, I just did that. And then I didn't worry too much about that corner because I can just go back with my makeup wipe and clean it up. And see how I crisp that up? So easy. This is a really great eyeliner, by the way, and if you are new to liner, I would suggest this even like for the top lash line. I had not used this for my top lash line before, and I used it today, and it was like so simple. So it goes on really well. It stays on really well in the waterline, so I know it's going to stay on well for the lash line. So this would be really great to practice with if you are a beginner to liner, I think. So I just want to put that out there. This is the So Fierce Vinyl Liner in the shade Mighty Mocha. So I love this liner. I use it all the time, and it's truly one of my favorites for the waterline, but now it's one of my favorites for that. And it makes a beautiful line, and it's not super black, so still gorgeous. So that's all I'm going to do to the eyes for the moment, and I'll show you what really pulls the eyes all together at the end here in just a second. But let's move to the face really quickly. This was the primer that I used for her. I pulled everything I used. Since it was just last night, I actually remember. This is the Acne Fighting Putty Primer from e.l.f. So I'll just get a little bit on my finger. Just take a little bit on my finger and then rub it in my hands. Make sure I'm getting that pore, all the pores in the T-zone. I like to let my primer set in for like a good 30 seconds. And then I went in with my foundation, which is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation in the shade Cheesecake. And this is the original formula. This is not the new formula that they have. And it is super high coverage, so that's probably too much, honestly. Then I went in with concealer, which is the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Shortbread. I've started putting a little bit here on the corners of my mouth, just for kind of like a lifted look. I noticed a slight difference with it, so it's a TikTok thing I found. I honestly didn't need extra coverage. I just needed to highlight a little bit with that, so that's why I used the concealer. Now I'm going to use my Huda Beauty powder, and I'm going to set my face. Here's my powder. I was using this, I promise. I'm almost out. I used the shade Pound Cake, by the way. This powder is like so airbrushed looking. It's ridiculous. I hope you guys can tell just how airbrushed my skin looks. It's crazy ridiculous. Summer's even fallen in love with that powder. I've used it on her a couple times and she's loving it. But one of the secrets is using a damp beauty sponge to put it on, especially under your eyes, so you get the hydration from the sponge and you're not getting dried out from the powder. Of course, as an oily person, I'm going to want powder to powder me down, but I also don't want to dry out my under eyes, and this, like a damp sponge, is the secret, really. And this sponge in particular is an Akia Joy sponge, and she's been through it. I really need a new one probably, but I love this sponge. It's such a good one. But there are so many good sponges out there. Like a Real Techniques sponge from Walmart is good. A Juno & Co sponge, that's a really good one. There are just so many good ones out there. There really are. So just use a damp beauty sponge and put your powder on, and you will see a world of difference, I promise. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Brow Blade on my brows. I did use this on her last night. I used the shade Cool Cookie for her, and for me, I'm going to use Cafe Kitty. And then I'm going to use Essence Make Me Brow in Blondie Brows. I'm going to take that Revlon liner and put in my waterline. And Tightline. And then I'm going to go back to the Naughty palette and take the Naughty shade and just run that along my bottom lash line. I think I'm going to take just a little bit of the shade here, which is called Hypnotic. Just a tiny bit, just to kind of buff that. See how it just kind of softens it just the tiniest bit. And then I'm going to touch up my liner just a bit. Moving to bronzer. This is my Marc Jacobs Tantric bronzer. I think that they're getting rid of this. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I've heard. And then I took my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette, and I really dipped into all 6 shades. But I stayed more in these richer tones here, but I dipped into all 6. And then I took my Becca palette, and Becca is going out of business in September, guys. If you didn't know that, that's so sad. But I did the Champagne Pop highlight. And then I used my Essence Lashes of the Day. This, I've not been able to find it online to link it when I do these videos, but I have found it in store at CVS. So if you would like to check it out, check your local CVS and see if you can find the Essence Lashes of the Day Super Volume Mascara. It's good stuff. See how good it is? I also forgot to put my highlighter on my brow bone. It's the Champagne Pop inner corner and brow bone. This look is all about the lashes. That's what I think everybody went crazy for, was the lashes. And so we used the Glamlite donut lashes, and they look like this. They come in this little donut container. Here's what the actual lash itself looks like. They're big, they're huge. So I'll give you a little lash tutorial really quick. I put the line on here because I want to hide the band of the lashes. I like to use this Kiss lash glue. It's the strip lash adhesive. I really like this because it doesn't burn my eyes like I would get the Duo, and it's a really good glue. It just kind of would burn my eyes sometimes if any would get in it, but this does not. So what I like a brush on glue. I really do, because the others are just too hard to control. you get too much out. So I like to coat the lash band really good. You don't have to slather it on, but I like to make sure it's on there, like a good coat. You guys can see it's on there. And then I let it dry a little bit. And I want it to look kind of like that. It's gonna look blue, kind of like my nails. And that's when I know it's tacky. So I want it to get a little tacky. And then I'm just gonna put it down. I'm gonna grab it in the center, and I wanna place the center where I want the lash to go. So I place on the center, and then I grab this end, place where I want it, and this end, I'll place where I want it. And then once it's on there good, I push up on the lash a little. That way it can sit up. Let me put the other one on real quick. So again, just take it and put the glue on there. Just a nice coat of glue. And I got this glue at Walmart, by the way, so it's not hard to find. And you wait till it's, see, it's a little bit white still. I'm gonna wait until it gets more blue, which is getting blue by the second. But the blue is gonna look much like my nails. And then I'm gonna take and place the center of the lash first. And then worry about the ends. And then I like to push up on them so that they will kind of dry upwards. And then I take my mascara, because I've already put my mascara on. You can kind of crunch your lashes together, smush them together like that with your regular lashes. But I also like to take a little bit of this mascara, and I don't put it on the actual lash. It's like the fake lash. I put it on my natural lashes, and I just kind of blend them in with the falsies. Because the less I get on the falsies, the longer my falsies will last. Then I just like to take a look, and usually I have liquid liner, but I like to take a look at the top and just make sure my liner is rounded at the top. And that's the lashes, and see how that pulls the eyes together and makes them look dark, sultry. You know, that is what really gives those eyes the pop. And I think that that's what everybody really enjoyed. So a good pair of lashes can bring any eye look together, I think. So for lips, I was on a Huda kick last night. It was a Huda Beauty, the liquid matte lipstick in the shade Trendsetter. And so I used that. And then I took a little bit of my Lorelei Los Angeles liquid lip in the shade Skimpy, and I put that on the center. Literally dabbed it out with my fingers. And I finished off with some setting spray. This is the Maven Beauty Rose Water Setting Spray. So I'm going to scoot to the side here, because I'm going to try to put a picture right over here of my friend Summer. And so you can kind of compare our looks. In case you didn't see our Facebook Live, then you'll know what she looked like. And so you can compare and see if I recreated it okay. And yes, we have differences in face shape, eye shape, all that kind of thing. Sorry, I have a hair stuck and I can't find it. But we have a lot of differences in our face shapes and different things. But for the most part, I mean, you know, color-wise, all that good stuff, it's the same. So, like I said, she's absolutely gorgeous. So, yes, it looks much better on her, I'm sure. But I did try to recreate it. So, we're twinning. If you see the picture, we're twinning. Yeah. So everybody wanted to know how I got it. I'm going to try to edit and upload this today, because it's early morning, not early morning, but earlier in the day when I'm actually filming this. I usually film in the evenings. So I'm going to try to edit and upload today, so you guys will actually see this the day that I'm filming. So I just really love this. I think it looks really, really beautiful. I might take off the lashes before I go into the office. Just because that might, you know, it might be a little much for the office. I don't know. But if I was going out, you know, I might take them. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Check out my dress and my earrings. I will have those linked below, as well as just the whole site, so you can check everything out down below. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.